Well, welcome everybody to the Leadership Lounge. It is so good to have you today. I'm so excited for what we're going to talk about. I feel like encouraging today, if that's all right with you. I just hope that when you close your laptop this morning or turn off your phone, whatever device you're watching from, or your TV, whatever, that you're inspired, you're motivated. As leaders, we all need it from time to time. We need encouragement ourselves, we spend our lives encouraging others, inspiring others to become, to evolve, to continue to move forward in their path, in their purpose. But every now and then we need it. And that's where I come in. I hope. I want to give you a resource really quickly to look up. This is a good book called Copywriting Secrets. It is helping me write copy for posts, for email campaigns, etc. So anyways, Copywriting Secrets by Jim Edwards. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon, but I just wanted to give you this information today to look up and to make that purchase if you needed help writing copy, which, especially in 2021, we might not be publishing newspaper articles, but we are publishing posts probably on the daily, at least weekly. And so anyways, or just get it maybe for one of your team members, whoever does your marketing. But I just wanted to let you know about that. I wanted to let you know about an exciting change that I just did to the company. I'm sure you saw the announcement. I'm sure you've seen the branding. I hope you've at least seen it on your news feed, on your timeline, because I want to get this out. I've been spending some time in prayer and just really, asking the Lord, what would you have this company do in this next season? And I just really felt like, it was much bigger than me. And so I said, okay, in order for that to be, a public thing, an official thing, I needed to not remove my name necessarily, but to pull back my name, to a little bit less of me, a little bit more what the company is about. And so I didn't want it to be a Tyler Wooten thing and I just coach. This is so much bigger than me, this company, this agency, this coaching agency. And there's going to be a day when other coaches come alongside and we have an entire academy, an entire team, etc. And so I was just like, man, I was teaching the other day to a group with Hustle, our other business that we're involved in. And I was teaching on vision and how vision always impacts and involves others. And if it just impacted you, which this company never just impacted me, but I was just thinking, I just got to go bigger with this, right? I just got to make a move. So we are officially Valor, Valor Coaching Agency. Valor means warlike courage. It means courage in the face of battle, right? Specifically in battle. It means bravery. And if there were ever a time in history, I feel like everybody says that because it's their time in history. But I'll say it. If there was ever a time in history when we needed leaders, it's now. And leadership is no easy bout. And it shouldn't be, because leaders are the ones who step up when others sit down. Leaders are the ones who run in when others run out. And so I just am so motivated and driven more than ever to continue to coach and equip leaders just like yourself to step up in the face of battle. Leadership is a battle, right? We're battling for a greater good, a greater cause. We're battling for people. We're battling for our future, right? No matter if you are in skincare or nutrition, or if you clean windows, or if you do landscaping, beyond it all, you're doing this to some extent or another for people. We will always, as leaders, we must always value people over our product and over our profit. people will always come first, right? So leadership is about creating a better future. And some of you watching this, you already have kids, and I am more driven than ever to create a better future that my bloodline gets to grow up in. And so anyway, so valor, we must have valor as leaders. This is an essential of leadership. You can't be soft, right? Can't be soft as a leader. Okay, I want to talk about today the thought of perseverance. Perseverance, it means keep on going, essentially, not giving up. And just upon this thought of valor, there are so many times, in leadership where it would be easy to throw in the towel, to walk away. It would just be the easy thing to do, and probably quite justifiable to a high degree. But I just want to encourage you today to not give up. You never know when breakthrough, success, acceleration, you never know when that is right around the corner. You might be one decision away from experiencing that acceleration in your business, on your team, in your culture, in your bottom line. I was thinking about this story that if you know me, I'm a preacher, and so I've preached this story many times in many different ways. But I was thinking today just on leadership. There's a story. There's this man by the name of R.U. Darby. Okay, he was a young man that was around during the gold rush days out west, and he had went to mine for gold and found a vein of gold and started striking gold. So he got his uncle involved. Him and his uncle went out west, and they bought some equipment, and they found this incredible vein of gold and started becoming very wealthy off of this gold. Well, one day the gold dried up. It was like out of nowhere. There was gold, and then they continued to drill and to dig and to mine, and the gold dried up. And they kept going, and nothing. They went a little longer, and still nothing. And I was thinking about, man, I relate. It's like one season it was going so well, and then it's like one day I woke up and it seemed to have just dried up, right? So anyway, so R.U. Darby and his uncle said, you know what, forget it. It must be over. There is no need to persevere. There's no need to continue to move forward. So they sold all the drilling equipment at a fraction of the price to just a local guy. And that local guy, I don't know if he's local, this other guy got this equipment and drilled, but 3 more feet and struck gold. Can you imagine how Darby felt when he got the news, he got the memo that this man that he's just sold this equipment to at a fraction of the price struck the gold that he had been spending a large amount of time looking for? 3 more feet. It wasn't but, a short time later, Darby ends up going to sell life insurance. But you could look at that part of the story and be like, well, it was a failure. But he actually took that principle of perseverance, and he became one of the few. He became one of the 50 men here in the States to sell millions of dollars of life insurance, because what would happen, he would go and try to sell, a policy to somebody, and they would say no. And he remembered, maybe just if I go 3 more feet, I'll make the sell. And that's exactly what it did as a salesman, became a very successful salesman. But the point of the matter is, the question today is, what is that 3 more feet for you? What is it? I want you to think about that right now. What is it? Is it somebody you need to have a conversation with? Is it an investment you need to make? Is it somebody you need to hire? Is it a new program? Is it greater organization? Is it a vacation? Come on. Is it a vacation? Is it you just taking time away or pulling away to a work retreat? Because it's hard to work on your business when you're always in it. It's hard to work on your team. It's hard to work on your culture. It's hard to work on your values. It's hard to work on your personal belief system if you're always in it, in the trenches. You might need to pull away. What is that 3 more feet for you? Charles Spurgeon, an old theologian, he is known for many quotes for many things, but one of his infamous quotes is this: by perseverance, the snail reached the ark. By perseverance, the snail reached the ark. I want you to think about that. I don't know if that's a real thing or whatever, but the point is clear. The snail got there, according to Spurgeon. It was little by little. And just imagine if he would have given up. It's a really fun example, I know, but it makes a really big point, and it's an incredible metaphor to leadership, to decisions that we must make, to moves that we must do in our organizations. Do not give up. You might be 3 feet away from striking that goal. You might be 3 feet away from seeing what you want to see in your organization, right? If you feel stuck in your leadership, whatever area it might be your bottom line, it might be team development, it might whatever it is. If you're stuck, I want to encourage you today that the method can change on how you get there. The mission will never change. I think sometimes if we think we change our strategy and our processes and our systems, that we are neglecting the mission. So we might just need to change the method. We won't forsake the mission. Don't worry. You won't. It's your heartbeat. It's what your heart beats for. The mission oozes out of you. It's why you're a leader. But the method might have to change. How you get there, you might have to make a decision today to change some stuff up, to flip your company upside down, to break the momentum at the top, to learn how to create wins each and every day in your organization. I rebranded. I feel a new level of momentum, and I didn't. It was a few weeks ago. I made the decision to change this method of the Leadership Lounge, but my mission has never changed. But different seasons, different methods will need to happen. So don't worry, you won't forsake the mission. Just you might need to change up the method. You might need to get outside of the box. Maybe the box that you have been in, that we as leaders are easily, kept in. You might need to get outside the box a little bit, change some stuff up. I was having dinner with a friend the other night, and he was telling me that he had been scaling his company recently, all the way from teams, to processes, the bottom line, infrastructure, everything. Been scaling over the past 7 years and doing an incredible job. But now he's in a place where he feels stuck because, and I quote, "I'm having a lot of trouble making big decisions and having mental bandwidth each and every day to plan and to dream and to execute, because consistently my door is getting knocked on by, my factory workers or by other staff members." And he's the CEO. And I said, well, first of all, have you communicated to them that's not, what needs to happen? What other processes do you need to change to where that, you eliminate that, at least decrease that? Because I asked him, I said, where does it stop? Right? Where does it stop? Because I said, if you just brought more staff members on with that same system, you're going to be all the more interrupted. And so he just said, yeah, but there are some things that I need to make decisions on each day and et cetera. We didn't really get into all that, but I did ask him. I said, let's think outside of the box for a minute, right? What if you hired, and I asked him this question. I said, do you feel like you could raise the bottom line and scale your organization with what's happening right now with you getting interrupted all day and having no mental, bandwidth? He said, no. I said, do you feel like if you didn't get interrupted all day, could you raise the bottom line and scale your company? He said, well, I believe so. I said, then why don't you consider, this is an outside of the box idea, I guess, not really, but I said, why don't you consider hiring an associate that is that buffer for you, who has the authority to speak as you, maybe a GM or even an executive assistant or something that has that authority to speak as your voice and to save you from getting constantly interrupted. Because what interruption is like, right? You get interrupted for 5 minutes, but it takes you 15 minutes minimum to get back in that flow, of whatever you were in. So I was like, bro, your job is much bigger than you just like doing management stuff. You need to lead. So what if, I said, we were talking numbers, like what it would take to hire an associate versus, and then what could that investment in that employee, in that team member, bring back to the company, because you now have more time to make these bigger decisions. So with the scale tip, and you could actually scale if you had that time back, if you were to bring on that associate. So that's what I mean. Like, our mindset as leaders has to be, there must be a solution. There must be a solution. There has to be something that you could do. Now you're taking an incredible step, investing in a coach in this season to bring transformation in your leadership. But that's just the mindset of a leader. Like, something has to shift, something has to break. Get creative, stay innovative. Don't be driven by the process of replication. Be driven by the process of innovation. Get outside the box. The box is meant to be broken. It's meant to be honored and grateful for it, but it served its season. Get outside the box and create. If you're not feeling like you have momentum in your organization, one quick tip is to create wins daily. Create one win every single day in your organization. Create a win. I made a little list. I want to kind of read it for you. Little wins could be something, and you'll feel the impact of these little wins that are going to give you the momentum. And I'm going to talk a whole another day, maybe next week, on just the concept of momentum and just the power of momentum. Okay. So create a win every single day. You'll feel it. Your team will feel it. And quite frankly, because your team will feel it, the morale will feel it, and your bottom line will feel it, and greater impact, of course, that comes with all that. So create a win every single day. Maybe it's one meaningful conversation with a team member. That's one win. These little things add up. Here's a great book right here. You should get it, The Compound Effect. Okay. These little things add up. Maybe it's a phone call you need to make. Have that. Have the conversation. Have the dialogue. Create that win. Okay. Maybe it's a post on social media utilizing good copywriting. Okay. Maybe it's rebranding like I did, right? I just created a win. There's a new level of momentum, of excitement. And that's kind of a big move, et cetera. It takes a little bit more work. You got to, you talk to the state, et cetera. But maybe it's taking your team out to lunch, investing in that. I know it's going to cost you. It's going to cost the company money, but there are cheaper, affordable ways to do it as well. Maybe host a luncheon, surprise, maybe have a staff day. Maybe it's just simply texting a team member, something encouraging. Hey, you've been doing great. Maybe it's planning out your next quarter, goal setting, just feeling more organized. Growing up for me, I remember, and even at the first of our marriage, specifically, I would avoid the bank account because I just didn't want to see what it was. Even if we were doing great, I just didn't want to see where I was bleeding out and spending money and being irresponsible. And I remember just somewhere along the way, I said, I have to face it. And once I faced it, wrapped my head around it, it sucked. But it was the best thing for me to do. And I felt so much less anxious, you know? So maybe that's ripping the Band-Aid off, planning out your next quarter, setting goals. Maybe you'll feel the same way. Maybe you don't want to even acknowledge it because it gives you anxiety. But I promise you that that level of anxiety will decrease tremendously once you faced it. Face that giant. Plan out your next quarter. Maybe it's you organizing the back of house, your back hallway, your back rooms if you have a brick and mortar. Maybe it's you organizing your desktop. Um, Speaking of myself, because stuff happens so fast, you know. Maybe it's you paying off your business credit card, or at least getting a plan, or just seeing what is on there. Create a win. I know it's silly practical things, but these are real things. Maybe it's detailing your car, going to wash your car. Okay, so create a win every single day. Here's the big question today that I want to have dialogue with on the Slack channel. What limitation and or mindset is holding you back from moving forward? Just that 3 feet. What limitation and or mindset is holding you back from moving forward? What is that 3 feet that is being withheld from you accessing because of a mindset or limitation? Is it the feeling of insecurity? Is it team conflict? Is it a lack of team culture? Maybe you've allowed something in your culture you don't want there, and we need to have a conversation and get a game plan on how to, exit that from your culture. Maybe it's you are struggling with marketing or social media. There's a great book right now called Marketing Made Simple. I encourage you to get that as well. But what limitation and or mindset is holding you back from moving forward? That's the big question today. All right. So let's put in the work so the work will work for us. And let's do what we need to do to move forward and continue to impact people along the way. Leadership matters. As John Maxwell would say, everything rises and falls on leadership. So I just commend you today for investing in yourself, investing in your own leadership, because when you invest in yourself, you are investing in your impact, which implies people. So thank you for investing in people today. Thank you for being the tremendously incredible leader that you are. All right. God bless you. Go love on somebody today. Tell your team that you're grateful for them. We'll talk to you soon.